Middle America finds the latest on the new Russian asset. Let's talk about it, y'all. Middle America. In the continuing embarrassment of what was formerly known as the American Republic, CNN posts this gem. Sanders told Russia is trying to help his campaign. You don't say. Senator Bernie Sanders said that Friday that his campaign was briefed about Russian efforts to help his presidential campaign, intensifying concerns about the Kremlin's role in the U.S. presidential race. It remains... No, there's Anderson Cooper. What's up, Anderson? It remains unclear how Russia is attempting to help Sanders, according to the Washington Post, which first reported the effort. The revelation comes a day after it was reported that the U.S. intelligence community believes Moscow is taking steps to help President Donald Trump win, and at a time when Sanders is emerging as a Democratic frontrunner. Speaking to reporters in Bakersfield, California, Friday afternoon, Sanders confirmed that his campaign was briefed about the Kremlin's efforts about a month ago and condemned Russia's attempts to interfere in U.S. elections. It is not clear what role they're going to play. We were told that Russia, maybe other countries, are going to get involved in this campaign. And look, here's the message to Russia. Stay out of American elections, Sanders said. And what they are doing, by the way, the ugly thing that they are doing, and I've seen some of their tweets and stuff, is they try to divide us up. That's what they did in 2016, and that is the ugliest thing that they are doing, is they are trying to cause chaos, they are trying to cause hatred in America. The Vermont senator speculated that the news broke on Friday afternoon in order to have an impact on Saturday's Nevada caucuses, in which he is the leading candidate. You don't say, Bernie. You mean the DNC and the media have a coordinated assault to disparage you and make you look bad? Well, why would they do that, Bernie? The Vermont senator speculated, we already talked about that, two of Sanders' centrist Democrat rivals seized on the news, with Michael Bloomberg's campaign calling Russian support for Sanders a no-brainer for Moscow. They either nominate the weakest candidate to take on their puppet Trump, or they elect a socialist as president, Bloomberg tweeted. And former Vice President Joe Biden told CNN's Arlette Saenz in Las Vegas that the report indicates that Putin doesn't want him to be elected. Bernie. You know, during the Batman, the one with Bane, Bane. Bane and Batman were set up as kind of opposites. Bane was kind of like the socialist communist. Gotham is yours, and the rich should be punished, and the rich are horrible people. And then you had Bruce Wayne, who's the rich good guy, who's actually the good guy, and all the rest of it. There's a lot of capitalist versus socialist, class warfare, eat the rich, that type of energy happening in The Dark Knight Rises, I think is the name of the movie. And what ended up happening was that Bane became a public menace, and of course in The Dark Knight Rises, Batman was a public menace. And what Bernie doesn't seem to realize is that, unfortunately, he jumped on all the Russia silliness and the Russia nonsense. As a matter of fact, even in the debate, he tried to say that some of the violent... Now, this Bernie Bros nonsense is ridiculous, and he should have just completely dismissed it offhand, but instead he went to the Russian interference route, where he tried to speculate that maybe the Russians are behind these crazy tweets. I don't know, Bernie. When you've got some of your goons in very important states like Iowa talking about how the gulags weren't really that bad and how we need to establish re-education camp for capitalists once you get elected, it stands to reason that it is possible that a 0.1% out of the 99% of your supporters would say some crazy stuff on Twitter. But what did he do? He went the road, or maybe it was the Russians. And of course, all the party hacks at the DNC were salivating over this because they knew that they were going to break this news on Friday, the day before the Nevada caucus. So they knew exactly what they were doing. That's why everybody was chuckling. Look, man, the fix is in on Bernie. Bernie is not going to be able to overcome what the DNC is about to do to them. You watch. You guys saw that at the debate when to simplify it, I think it was Chuck Todd basically asked, hey man, whoever gets the most vote, should they win? Or whoever wins with the delegates, should they win? Which is basically, are you going to be okay with us screwing Bernie over like we did last election cycle? And everybody on the stage said yes, and then Bernie says, no, we should let the majority rule decide. Bernie needs to understand that he has got to attack the DNC. He has got to expose them. Bernie, when you get interviewed about this stuff, you need to say, anybody who thinks that I would collude with Russia is ridiculous, and I find it very strange. This was released to me a month ago. I find it very, very strange that the day before the Nevada caucus, now you're releasing this stuff. But of course, Bernie doesn't have, I'm not going to say the spine, but there's no way that he can come out in such a robust fashion against the Russians when he took part in the impeachment nonsense and he talked about, speculated about Trump being a Russian asset. I hope everybody understands by now. I keep trying to tell you guys over and over and over again. Anything they did to Trump, they will do to Bernie, because Bernie and Trump are different sides of the same coin. It's a populist movement run by hyper-charismatic leaders who almost have a cult following, who are willing to die and kill for them. A person who's going to completely, and Mayor Pete keeps talking about blowing up the Democratic Party. Bernie would not blow up the Democratic Party. The problem is he would own the Democratic Party in much the same way that Mr. Trump now owns the Republican Party. The Republican Party is not the Republican Party, it's the party of Trump. Because he's so wild. We've never seen a person with this kind of charisma who cannot be bought. See, Barack Hussein Obama had charisma for days. He had swag. He had juice. And immediately once he got elected, he put those Goldman Sachs and all those other people in play. He got bought. Bernie, for all intents and purposes, is not an individual who could be bought. And so because of that, he is also a version of Trump. Now, Trump can't be bought because Trump is a billionaire, and anybody who tried to buy him is 9 times out of 10 poor compared to him. So, look, guys, this is the DNC letting us know from jump that they're going to screw Bernie Sanders. And this is Bernie Sanders constantly acquiescing and capitulating to these people and believing, really believing, that if he tries hard enough and if he's nice enough, the DNC is going to play fair with him. No, they're not. This is terrible, man. The obvious coordination of the media assault against this man is unbelievable. It's unbelievable, not because I don't think that something like this has happened before. What's unbelievable is the blatant way that they're doing it. And the other thing that's unbelievable to me about the DNC is it seems they only have one card. Make up false accusations about misogyny, i.e. Kavanaugh, i.e. Bernie, women can't be president. Or come up with crazy conspiracies talking about how this guy's in bed with the Russians. Come on, y'all. Nobody believes this. Nobody. But what they're doing is they're setting up for a dispute at the convention so that they can activate the second round superdelegates so they can put up an empty suit like Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, et al. And that's the reason why these people are not dropping out of the race when they should, because they know what the DNC is about to do and they're campaigning for the DNC. Don't you realize, dear listener, that when these people are on the debate stage, they're not campaigning towards you? Why do you think they keep saying we need to beat Trump? Do you know who cares most about beating Trump? It's the DNC. I guarantee you a person whose job is being outsourced to another country doesn't care about beating Trump. They care about keeping the lights on. You know, there's a very poignant moment where Kamala Harris was like, we need somebody who's a loyal Democrat, da-da-da-da-da. And Tulsi said, yeah, you're right, I'm not a loyal Democrat. I'm a loyal American. I'm going to work for Americans, not the Democratic Party. Don't you understand what's happening in these debates? When these people say, I can beat Trump, we need to talk about Trump, we can stop Donald Trump. Michael Bloomberg's #1 priority was stopping Donald Trump. The #1 priority should be doing everything that's in the best interest of America. And I am sorry, everything Trump is doing is not against the best interest of America. Stop it. If you want to attribute the hike or the decrease in unemployment to Barack Obama, I could care less. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, on Trump's watch, the economy is doing great. And all the people who are now trying to attribute it to Barack Obama were telling me on firesides last year that having a low unemployment rate really isn't that good. That's what y'all were saying. You guys were saying, oh no, the market's about to crash, the market's about to crash. Now all of a sudden that the market is generally has some form of stasis to it and is trending great and the unemployment's trending great. Now all of a sudden you want to give it to Obama. Here's my point. My point is, the people who are on the debate stage, aside from Bernie Sanders, are not talking to the American people. They are talking to the DNC. What they're saying in these debates is, look, when you guys screw Bernie out of it, because we know none of us are going to be able to touch him, I am the person that's most likely equipped to grant the DNC the power it deserves. That's all that's happening. Now they're setting up this Russia nonsense so that you can continue to have all these talking points about Russia. I mean, this is a country. I just have to remind you guys. I have to remind you guys that this Russia stuff has been going on for about 3 or 4 years, and it's all coming from the same people. Love your neighbor. Take care of each other. Middle America, we are the media. Till next time, guys.